This, I understand, could be attributed to the use of marijuana. It causes errors in time and space.
We're live. Thank you for joining us. It is another Monday on Talking High. I already fucked that up. Thank you for joining us on Talking High Culture. We are live. It is another Monday. Today we're talking about the runner's high, what we previously thought caused it, and how it's actually related to cannabis more than we previously thought. Let's just jump straight into it.
Dude, if you're trying to carry them boats and you're trying to hit that 10K, you need to listen to this.
So, RickWashburn.com has published a nice little summary that we can easily digest and deliver to you guys, the audience. Hacking the runner's high, Harvard proves what I've been doing all along. So, in this instance, Harvard had a study that was able to link the runner's high to our endocannabinoid system, our body's natural THC receptor. And it was previously thought that the runner's high was caused by endorphins, right? So in this study, let me just jump through. Trying to get to the part where he talks about Harvard. There we go. Bam. In 2023, Harvard researchers published a study that flipped 4 decades of exercise science on its head. For years, the story went like this. When you work out, your brain releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that create the famous runner's high. The problem is that endorphins are too large to actually cross the blood-brain barrier. They can't really be the source of the euphoric feeling that people describe during their hard run. So what it's really caused by is anandamide, and that's one of the cannabinoids in your body's endocannabinoid system. In other words, your brain has its own cannabis inside. Harvard measured it directly after about 30 minutes of moderate cardio. Circulating anandamide levels spike dramatically. Unlike endorphins, anandamide crosses into the brain with ease, binding to the same receptors that THC does, which means that runner's high is not an opioid effect at all. It's your internal cannabis system flipping the switch. So it's just your body starting to produce those endocannabinoids, and it's one of the molecules that would be found in THC, the plant that we have in front of us here. Not the whole plant. We have it ground up. I know that's obvious, but this is why it hits like a confirmation stamp that THC protocol wasn't about getting the high. It was about hacking into the very system that Harvard just validated. While the rest of the world called people that smoke weed stoners, we were beta testing a pathway into biology itself that had built into us. And now the data says that like we weren't imagining it. Like this runner's high is quite literally a high that's associated with cannabis. What's really cool is that this runner's high is actually measurable. So Rick Washburn here, he says that it's a 22-minute cardio session at about 70% max heart rate. That was what was in the Harvard study that was able to produce peak endocannabinoid anandamide production, right? So if you're at about that 70% max heart rate while you're doing whatever your cardio is, whether it be on the elliptical or the salt bike or the treadmill or whatever it is that you're doing, um, make sure that you're at your 70%. Once you hit that 22, start seeing if you feel that runner's high. Ideally, you should, be within that time range is where you should feel the high, and that would be the anandamide kicking in. So my question to you, Logan, is how often do you feel the runner's high?
Not often.
No, not often.
No.
No.
I don't run.
Mhm. Well, any cardio.
I
How
don't do,
often do you get?
I mean, the last time I ran a mile, I can't say where I got. I'm a shitty person to ask because the last time I ran a mile, I really fucked up my Achilles slash calf because I haven't ran in that long, and I pushed myself to run an actual mile.
Hmm.
So I was really just worried about that, and I was just hurting. I couldn't really tell about any, and it was just a mile. It's not like no crazy.
Well, when it comes to you going on the bike at the gym, right?
Mhm.
Your peak cardio time is what? Not peak, but like your max cardio time is about what?
Oh, like how long I'm on there?
Yeah, how long are you on the bike? Sorry.
15, 20 max.
20 minutes max, right?
Mhm.
So 20 minutes is just under that 22. If you were on there for maybe about like 2 more minutes, right, you might start to feel like that a little bit of tail end,
Mhm.
right? But you recovering from,
But I'm also getting high all the time.
yeah, that's also
Mhm.
also true too. One thing that I
I
do,
usually go into going into cardio high.
that's also another interesting thing. I wonder how that affects what we're doing here. I wonder if getting high ahead of time. It has to, because if I have to share my experience, right? I smoke right before I go into the gym, right? And there's probably after my smoke, like if I hit the pen or if I hit the joint or if I hit my bong before I leave the house, at most, there's 10 minutes between the time I took my hit and the time I start working out. Now, when I hit the pen in the car before I go on the elliptical or the assault bike, it's about 10 minutes in is when I'm feeling the high at all. About 15 to 20 minutes is usually when I do feel what I would consider the runner's high. But I usually attribute it to the weed that I just smoked ahead of time, before the gym. But I do feel like there's like a second wave element to it. And I have also noticed that it's affected whether or not I have any kind of caffeine intake. Like, because if I take my pre-workout ahead of time, that also affects my high because I feel like it kills my regular smoking high pretty quickly. But then I still do feel that runner's high in that 20 minutes to 30 minutes later. Another aspect is I'm for sure going more closer to 80 to 90% max heart rate. I try to hit that when I'm on the elliptical. And on the assault bike, it's a little bit harder to measure, but on the elliptical, I try to hit that. When it came to different types of cardio that you are able to do that's not too heavy on your knee, right?
Mhm.
Aside from the bike, there's not really much, huh? Because the elliptical would still be a little bit much too, huh?
Yeah, and I can't even say that like I was probably high when I ran that last time that I said that I ran. So it's like, and what's funny is I was smoking in high school doing track, so that was my most likely time of running a longer distance or sprinting for
Mhm.
multiple circuits.
Sure.
Um, and even then I was getting high. So
Yeah.
it's just like my system has always been favored on with weed that was actually in my system rather than stuff that's going into my endocannabinoid has like a
Because um, you've been taking it easy since the last time we played basketball, but you had a couple of basketball games, like high intensity basketball
Mhm.
games, a
Oh,
couple
okay.
before that,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, let me think about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. those were pretty intense.
Mhm.
And yeah, I guess I did feel good after those, but I think it was just more off like the maybe that feeling made my feeling of like being back in competition and being like hyped on it. Like that
Yeah.
was kind of like
That was your
a little bit of
emotional,
that.
mental validation for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you felt any kind of high at all, it's possible that, it's previously believed that it could have been endorphins that are actually what's making you feel that way. But sorry, if you were feeling any type of high at all during that game, any type of head rush, any type of, yeah, I'm in the zone and this is feeling great, that
Hmm.
flush, there's now studies and evidence to suggest that that's not endorphins. That's not dopamine. That's not serotonin. That's anandamide, right? I'm not saying that that is what it is. I'm saying that there's now evidence to suggest that that may be the case, right? Uh, so we have a now more fundamental understanding of like when we feel this like elated feeling. If you ever had like just like an overwhelming sensation, something that you would describe as like, I don't know, it's a high, but I've never smoked weed before. For those people who haven't smoked weed or who don't smoke weed regularly, there may be a lot more evidence to suggest that those feelings are more tangential to our endocannabinoid system instead of endorphins, right? I'm not saying everything, but in this case, when it comes to physical exercise and what they were able to find regarding anandamide, you know, maybe the high that we feel when the adrenaline rush, the high that we feel with the adrenaline could be more than just what we previously understand. And it could also be associated with our body's endocannabinoid system also kicking in at the same time. There's not enough studies on all that, right? But it's possible. You want to be on camera?
Lola, go. Go lay down.
Dad says no. Was there any time that you can describe a feeling of being high when you weren't smoking weed or doing some type of drug?
Other than like, those fucking like wow moments or like those
Yeah, yeah. What kind of
um
wow moment?
I think I was still high when this happened, so it's
Sure, but
just
yeah, sure. But like you felt another
um
wave, right?
yeah, those two times that I've been in Tahoe swimming in the water, looking at the mountains, like the
Okay.
cold ass water,
Uh-huh.
those like just swimming in that and having that scenery and just like taking it all in, like those moments I'm like
Uh-huh.
really present. Uh and I could say, yeah, maybe that
Hmm.
mixed with like the cold water kind of brings on uh more of like a high, you would say.
Hmm. I can agree with that.
I wouldn't call it much of a high though.
Yeah,
Not what I would call a high.
yeah, it's not a high in the traditional sense. It's just you feel something going on in your
Hmm.
brain, right? On top of what's already going on in terms of if you're high already, right? Because I do understand that, like, there's a time where for example, when I'm watching a movie, right, and I have a very empathetic or emotional connection with what's going on in the movie, right? I could already be pretty stoned when I first watched it, when I'm engaged with the movie. I could already be on the tail end of my high by the time that scene that I resonate with comes on, right? And then I'm so flooded with emotion that I feel what I would consider like a buzz, what I would consider like a high, just a wave, not like an entire thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm fucking high off of sadness or high off of happiness or whatever, right? But just that overwhelming sensation of happiness, that overwhelming sensation of sadness, you know, um, there is now reason to believe that it's not just endorphins or it's not just serotonin, dopamine, what have you, right? We don't have enough of our endocannabinoid system studied enough, but it's possible that those things, those experiences could also be related to our endocannabinoid system,
Hmm.
right? Um, much more previously than we understood, because yeah, serotonin and dopamine and all that other stuff that goes on in our brain that provides feelings of happiness and feelings of comfort. Like we do have a fundamental understanding of those things, and I'm not discrediting any of that. But if we're seeing evidence like this in a runner's high is actually caused by cannabinoid, right? or at least they, associated with the cannabinoid as opposed to endorphins as previously believed, we could start to look at those studies again, right? It's like, hey, look, what other molecules are actually too big to cross blood barriers,
Yeah, so interesting to think that like what type of high do people who have never been high feel when
Mm,
it comes to these type of highs, you know what I mean?
yes.
Like because it's so different than your traditional sense of actually getting high in terms of inhalation,
Hmm.
ingestion, um I mean what other
Any
ways
kind
that
of consumption at
yeah,
all.
consumption. Um so it's interesting to think of like, yeah, if it's working with these endocannabinoid systems and it's just your normal bodily processes, like what is it that they're feeling,
Hmm.
that's different from what we're feeling. And then another thing,
If it's different at all.
exactly, Andrew Huberman says that you need things in life like stressors,
Hmm.
de-stressors, and then things that bring woe, things that
Yeah.
bring about woe
Hmm.
about you.
Hmm.
And that's what I think maybe that like that feeling like I was explaining in the Tahoe scenery, like it's moments like that that I think are maybe like what a runner's high is or what like endorphin
Rush.
is, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
outside of being high, because I'm such a burnout fucking stoner
Mm.
after so many years of smoking weed that uh those moments are few and far between, and I'm still lit in those moments.
Yeah. I think that you still experience those, but because you're lit, it's kind of sometimes harder to separate it. It kind of just is like more of a blur. Uh, but I think you mentioned earlier practicing being more present in moments like that, right?
Definitely.
And that being able to understand or not understand, but being able to be aware of oh, this feeling is a different wave than what this feeling is going on.
Oh, that one time I went camping, and we, looking at the clouds, just
Yeah,
fucking over the thing.
yeah,
I,
that
it was like, it was metaphorical, you know what I mean?
goosebumps just thinking about
Yeah,
that.
it was metaphorical.
Hmm.
It was like Japanese haiku status, like
Hmm.
where we were standing and what we were seeing at the time we were seeing it. It was just like I think I teared up. I almost shed a
Yeah.
tear, but
Yeah.
I was thinking about it makes me want to cry because it just like yeah, it
Yeah.
was just like you start thinking of things and what you're seeing and how it like relates to your life.
It was an ocean of cloud,
Yeah,
and
it's an
the
insane.
metaphor of it all.
Yeah, it's an insane scene to witness. That was peak the camping trip for sure. That just that scene alone, I don't think a lot of people get that outside of flying.
Yeah.
And we were up there.
Yeah, we were standing right next to each other for a bit on that one, man.
Yeah, that was good.
It was good.
Fun trip.
Fun trip,
Yeah,
fun trip.
we're planning another one here
Another
soon.
one. Actually, we're a little late on that plan, right? Because if we were trying to do it by the end of October, we're a month away.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a little delayed. That's still in the books. Don't worry about the ladies and gents. Still on
Yeah, they
this?
don't got to worry about it.
Cool with this, or we a little out of it?
Yeah, yeah, we're good.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's see. Sorry, ladies and gents, gotta text back my lovely lady. She's the best.
Yeah, we are taking a smoke break.
Smoke break, smoke, smoke, smoke break.
Mhm. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are smoking anything at all, please let us know. This is the moment where we are going to engage with the chat, and we have
Nothing on chat.
nothing on chat.
Well, we have one view more than we had last time, so
No, but thank you for real for everyone all the time who's ever been here with us.
oh yeah, got an extra viewer hopefully. All right, ladies and gents.
Hmm.
Um,
It says that the video will experience buffering. It's not maintaining smooth enough video. So yeah, let
I'll
me
turn off
turn
my
off.
Wi-Fi. I'll turn off my Wi-Fi. Wait, wait.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
think we're good.
It says the video experience buffering is not maintaining smooth enough video. So yeah, let me try Wi-Fi trouble. Wait. Here, we're gonna go ahead and that should be fine. Yeah, Chris.
We're actually gonna have. Yeah, trying to figure out shit right now, ladies and gents. Make sure the screen's all Gucci gang, Louis, Gucci, Fendi, Prada. Some, you bitches don't even wanna. I think my name is Krayshawn. That's Krayshawn, yeah. That's hella funny. Name another Krayshawn song. Nobody could do that. You know, it's funny. It's probably not even her real name. I'll bet you 10 buckets that's not her real name. Like Krayshawn? Crayon with a S and a H? Who does that? Anyway, you're here with the Boof Lord, fantastic, and Marco Vez, the illusionist himself. And we're trying to get things going, and if it isn't, then it isn't. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you're hearing the audio, and that's what's good. You're getting like a pictograph, kind of like how you would in the 80s or so. Wait, do you have to be on Wi-Fi on that?
On here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that.
because I don't have the
And you have to be
internet
on
cable
Wi-Fi
right
on
now
that.
with me.
Huh?
Yeah, those
Are you on Wi-Fi on this? No.
I turned this off. Yeah.
Gang. I'm outside with my gang.
I'm outside with my gang.
So, ladies and gents, me and Marco were having a fun conversation at work, about, not at work, at lunch, about people's basic superheroes that they would talk about.
Oh, sure.
And I'm really leaning towards Spider-Man being one of the number one superheroes that non-superheroes fans can name.
Mhm. Yeah, if you're talking about someone who doesn't know any superheroes, uh, they're not a nerd, they're not into the culture like that.
They're not into the culture.
You're talking about the most popular names are Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. All right. Iron Man too.
Fucking Superman. Fucking Superman.
Superman.
I'm fucking Superman. Fucking. I'm about to fucking come through and fucking take your. I don't even know. My bad. Anyway, Superman. And then Spoderman.
Spooter. Spider.
Spider.
The elusive Spider-Man.
Elusive. And then we got Iron Man.
Iron. The Iron Man. The Irony Man. No, Robert Downey Jr. is good. We were talking about Jean Favreau as well. Jean Favreau, if I'm being honest, with the audience and with Logan,
Jean Favreau.
Jean Favreau
Jean Favreau.
is, the producer, one of the producers on Iron Man, and he's had plenty of movies. We were talking about his movie Swingers with Vince Vaughn. It's actually not a movie that I have seen, but
All right, enough about that, Marco. Check this out. Anyway,
which is crazy because I actually do think of Jean Favreau as
Jean Favreau.
like someone who I guess you could say I'd look up to in terms of success, in terms of who you want to emulate, in terms of production, in terms of, we all have a hero, someone we want to emulate. It's like, oh, if I'm going to be uh, a manager, a producer of some kind, I would like to be like that, like that guy.
You'll be looking up at him for
Mhm.
sure.
Like, for example, I feel like Logan has that mentality about Jim Carrey. Would you not agree with that? Like, Jim Carrey is probably somebody you say, "Oh yeah, like that's what I'm going for,"
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
right?
I don't know if I'd want to meet him anymore.
No, not me.
Yeah,
Like they never meet your heroes, obviously. But
exactly. I don't want to be freaked out.
yeah, but that's generally what you would say the type of comedy that you try to emulate, right?
Hmm.
Right. So in terms of
Actually, no, I don't think I'd be freaked out. I kind of want to understand him.
mhm. uh, Jim Carrey's Andy Warhol portrayal in what's the movie called again? Where he portrays Andy Warhol?
I do not know what you're talking about.
No? Oh, okay, cool. Let me just look it up really quick. Jim Carrey, Andy.
My favorite depiction of Andy Warhol is Bob Hader in Men in Black 3, the one with Young K, the first one with Young K.
So
Jim and Andy, that's Andy Dufresne, or that's Andy Kaufman.
is it?
That's Andy Kaufman.
Who did I say?
You said
Warhol, but Warhol's not a comedian, right?
nope.
Yeah, I meant Andrew Kaufman, right? I don't know where Warhol came in my brain from, right? But you guys understood that I was referring to Andy the comedian.
Nobody fucking knew. You fuck.
You know what, Logan?
Get off the screen right now.
All right, we're gonna terminate this cast right now. That's it. Talking High Culture disbanded, broken up.
Come here. Come here. The fuck are we doing, bro? You said that we were gonna fucking do this shit, right? And you work on fucking someone. You fucking.
He can't even do the ad read, man.
I got the ad read last time, dude.
He can't even do the ad read.
We dropped Yoo-Hoo because of you, dude.
Yoo-hoo?
Yoo-Hoo had us on lock for 2,000 a video, and you had to drop it because someone had to go get Yoo-Hoo drunk at the bachelor party. What?
Whose bachelor party?
Mine, man.
Oh,
See, you
shit.
don't even remember because of
Damn.
Yoo-Hoo.
I
God,
got chocolate wasted.
he has a problem, and I just shook this up.
I'm a chocoholic.
We guys. That was going to be news. It was going to be really bad news that we were going to let you, lean into a little bit. But we got dropped by Yoo-Hoo, unfortunately. Yeah.
So now we have to
We have
fund
to,
ourselves. Please shop at talkinghighculture.com.
okay, Marco's being a little too over dramatic here, but we will have to start drinking dairy chocolate milk instead of lovely chocolate drink. And I know.
Plug talkinghighculture.com.
Oh yeah. Enough talk about disgusting dairy and chocolate drink. You guys would never guess the shirts that we have at our own domain. Yeah, you got it right. Our own domain. And that's no Rogaine. That's fucking lo mein, as in noodle soup for your Gangnam cheeks.
Get on this side. Switch.
And now I'm on this side where Marco was, just to spit it at you. You see that first shirt? That's Talking High Culture on the breast. You see that second shirt? That's the Greg Express. You see that third shirt? That's Talking High Culture in green, Splinter Cell style. You see that fourth shirt? That's the original OG Talking High Culture. And then we got Marco doing this thing. And then we got my personal favorite, the Think Outside the Blunt, which I still haven't bought yet, but I need to. These are the shirts that you need in your life. Like a motherfucker drowning in strife. And you need to eat no tripe unless you got the menudo and you feeling right. Because it's a hangover night and I'm sipping wine. Your boy followed off like, oh, fuck yeah, man. I'm sorry. This is how freestyles go. Fucking Supper, man, dude. What's up?
Freestyle about the website.
Nah, I fucking can't. I mean, that was the best you get out of me
Yeah.
for the fucking website.
All right, cool. Boom.
Ah,
Don't forget to shop at talkinghighculture.com. All right, let's get back to it.
all right, dude. That was
What happened? Oh my god.
I don't know. That was it. When you start doing that, just like have that in as the ad read, I guess. So you guys saw our first ad read for A shameless self plug
Mhm.
because we don't have any.
Hey, but that was
We
improv.
don't have any sponsors anymore. Rogaine doesn't like us, and Yoo-Hoo just dropped us. So
No, but real talk, there is sponsors that I'm looking into. One's an energy drink supplement that is basically we get the promo code and we'll put on here. We're looking into it, but for now, please shop at
but we're not
talkinghigh
trying to sell out. Marco is.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sell out. It just every little bit helps. So you could also check us out on Talking High Culture. Or sorry, you could also check us out on patreon.com / Talking High Culture.
We have a Patreon?
Yeah, if you want to help us out directly and support us, what you'll see is all of these live casts, unedited, warts and all. Uh, and then everything else we do behind the scenes as much as you can. You'll get all of the stuff just unedited, everything uploaded there. Check us out on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube at Talking High Culture. We're trying to be more thorough, more consistent on posting, multiple times throughout the week, at least 5 times out of the week. So yeah, check us out there. We're just trying to push some stuff out. Also, we have other projects in the work. We're working on Gold Star, Project Gold Star. We're working on Project Star Gold. We're watching on Project. We're working on Project.
Watching on
Yeah.
Marco.
We're watching other projects that are referencing projects in which we also want to project our projections into a project on.
Big up sking them. Sking them on the motherfucking mic them. Bumbleclot, big man.
Buklot, big man.
Big bumbleclot under them.
Sure.
Fucking hell, mate.
Fucking.
Fucking hell.
Bust the left. Bust the right. Bust the left. Bust the right.
Pussy left.
Bust the left.
Bumbleclot on the motherfucking nest. Bumbleclot on the motherfucking nest. Bumbleclot.
Loader.
100 top loader. 100 top loader. That's just funny. Just a little send off. Marco is gay. See you later. And I'm not in charge of like signing it off. And like you are, you're like, I'm not fucking ending it yet on that, bro. I'm just like, fucking end it. That was supposed to be the fucking end. Just end it. Like I say you're gay and you end it. And that's supposed to be funny. You still got Marco is gay. End it. Girls, end it now. It's supposed to be ended. It's supposed to be like